Have you ever felt like your homestead is a black hole for your time and money, rather than a source of true freedom? You wake up every morning to face the same recurring headaches: the price of feed that never stops climbing, slug infestations that destroy your lettuce in a single night, and the gnawing feeling that without your constant intervention the entire system would collapse. Most homesteaders make one fundamental mistake. They work for their animals, becoming slaves to the daily needs of their livestock. But today, we are changing the rules of the game. I'm not just going to teach you how to raise ducks, I'm going to teach you how to manage a high-efficiency biological corporation. We are moving away from the exhausted farmer model and stepping into the role of the self-sufficiency strategist. Imagine for a moment that every bird on your land has a job description, a specific function, and a performance goal to meet. In this ecosystem we are about to design, we aren't just looking for animals, we are looking for specialists who work as a team so that you don't have to. We are building a system where one bird's waste is another's resource, where pests are converted into high-quality protein, and where fertilizer is delivered with automated precision. If you are ready to stop hauling heavy bags and start managing intelligent resources, you've come to the right place. By applying these principles, you are not just farming. You are engineering a biological asset that generates compounding interest in the form of food security and environmental health. Let's begin. The secret of a homestead that runs itself doesn't lie in the number of birds you own, but in the operational synergy of their biological functions. In our elite team, the interaction between specific breeds creates what we call a biological shield and a continuous production engine. While the Indian runner patrols the garden with the precision of a tactical surgeon eliminating insects, the Khaki Campbell manages your nutritional cash flow, providing a volume of eggs that outshines almost any commercial chicken. This combination isn't an accident, it is a strategic design. The Indian runner clears the path by cleaning the ground of parasites that could sicken heavier breeds, while their constant activity keeps the flock alert and moving. At the same time, the Muscovy acts as the security officer and waste management specialist, eliminating flies and mosquitoes that are the terror of larger livestock, while the Pekin Duck consolidates the biomass and energy of the system. In this model, the homesteader no longer spends money on toxic pesticides or synthetic fertilizers because you have delegated those tasks to winged professionals who enjoy their work. The synergy is so powerful that the natural foraging behavior of these birds becomes the primary engine of your land's profitability, allowing you to reclaim your most valuable asset, your time. To reach the maximum potential of this system, we must master the management of soil and water, the two most critical assets of any self-sustaining project. Unlike chickens, which can be destructive because of their instinct to scratch and dig, ducks act as surface oxygenators. Their light treading and movement help incorporate organic matter into the soil without compacting it, which promotes the growth of more nutritious grasses. This is where water becomes our primary nutrient transport tool. Instead of seeing a pond as a simple place for recreation, a strategist sees it as a liquid fertilizer processing plant. Water enriched by duck waste is green gold for your crops. By implementing a biological filtration system with aquatic plants, you don't just maintain the health of your birds, but you generate a surplus of plant biomass that goes back to the garden as mulch. This closed-loop cycle eliminates the need to buy outside inputs and ensures that every ounce of nitrogen produced by your team is utilized to the fullest, transforming a cleaning problem into a competitive advantage for accelerated plant growth. Biological security and system resilience are the pillars that protect your investment from crisis. This is where the technical specialization of each team member becomes vital. The Muscovy doesn't just manage waste. Its hardiness and territorial instinct act as a silent sentinel against predators and sanitary threats. By eliminating disease vectors like mosquitoes, it protects the health of the entire flock and your family. On the other hand, the Khaki Campbell's ability to produce under harsh weather conditions ensures you never lack protein on the table, even when other food sources fail. We call this biological life insurance. If one breed faces a challenge, the other three keep the productive structure standing. The Pekin, with its rapid growth, offers a reserve of energy and biomass that can be utilized at strategic moments, ensuring the homesteader always has a liquid asset available. In this high-performance system, risk is diluted through operational diversity, allowing you to navigate climate and economic challenges with the peace of mind of someone who has a team of experts working every flank of their survival. Finally, we must talk about the economics of self-sufficiency and the return on investment of these biological employees. Many homesteaders only look at the price of the bird or the cost of the feed, but the strategist looks at the total cost of operation and the collateral benefits. When you add up the value of hundreds of large eggs from the Khaki Campbell, the pounds of high-quality meat from the Muscovy and the Pekin, and the thousands of dollars saved in pesticides and fertilizers thanks to the work of the Indian runner, the result is a profitability that no other rural investment can match. We are talking about a system that pays for itself in a matter of months and grows in value with every generation. The key is to stop seeing your birds as mouths to feed and start seeing them as assets that generate wealth autonomously. By understanding how every natural instinct, from the warning quack to the hunt for larvae in the mud, translates into a saving of your own sweat and blood, you reach true mastery in the field. Now that you understand the architecture of this system and how these functions intertwine, you are ready for the technical details that will make this dream a reality on your own land. Now that you have the tactical map and understand that true profitability is not in the individual animal but in the synergy of the whole, it's time to look under the hood of this biological machinery. To be a successful strategist, you need to understand not just what they do, but why they do it, and how their evolutionary design works in your favor. We start with our technical specialist in pest control, the Indian runner. This bird is a miracle of natural engineering. Its upright posture is an adaptation for extreme mobility in dense terrain. Their legs are set further back than in heavy breeds, allowing them to run instead of waddle, which gives them the agility of a hunter. In a self-sustaining homestead, the Indian runner uses this agility to perform a vertical scan of your crops. Thanks to their long, flexible necks, they can reach insects hiding at the base of plants or under leaves without damaging the root system of your vegetables. Because they don't have the scratching instinct of a chicken, their fine feet barely disturb your mulch, making them the only employees capable of working directly on your strawberries or lettuce without causing collateral damage. Their high-speed metabolism ensures that every slug or snail captured is converted almost instantly into nitrogen-rich liquid manure that fertilizes your garden while the duck continues its patrol, eliminating the need for chemicals and reducing your workload to zero in pest management. This efficiency is amplified by their social structure. Runners work in tight-knit units covering an acre of land with more thoroughness than any manual inspection ever could. They don't just eat pests, they seek them out with a relentless drive that turns your garden's biggest threat into its most consistent source of high-yield fertilizer. They are your first line of defense, ensuring that your core assets, your vegetables and fruits, can grow to their full potential without the interference of destructive insects. Moving from protection to mass production, we must study the physiology of our egg manager, the Khaki Campbell. To understand her value, you have to see her as a high-precision caloric conversion machine. The secret to her productivity, which often exceeds 300 eggs per year, lies in her relentless foraging instinct combined with a metabolic stamina that doesn't stop for the cold. While other birds enter periods of reproductive inactivity when daylight decreases, the Khaki Campbell has been selected to maintain her internal fire, transforming every ounce of forage, larva, or grain into dense, nutritious protein. Her egg is significantly larger than a chicken egg and possesses a richer yolk, making it superior for both baking and family nutrition. From a management perspective, the Khaki Campbell is a dream because she requires minimal intervention. Her hardiness allows her to forage in canals or pastures, reducing your dependence on industrial feed by up to 60%. By integrating this manager into your team, you ensure that the biological cash flow of your homestead never stops you, allowing you to have surpluses for sale or trade, which solidifies the economic foundation of your life on the land. Furthermore, their calm temperament makes them excellent middle management birds, keeping the peace within the mixed flock. They are the engine of your kitchen, providing a level of food security that is practically immune to the fluctuations of the commercial grocery market. They are consistent, reliable, and incredibly efficient at turning what would be wasted energy on your land into a premium product that sustains your household. In a world of rising grocery prices, the Khaki Campbell is your hedge against inflation, providing a high-quality food source that requires only a fraction of the investment required by traditional methods. At the heart of sustainability and sanitary maintenance, we find the Muscovy Duck, our specialist in waste management and biosecurity. Their anatomy is radically different. They possess powerful claws and a dense plumage that allows them to climb and defend themselves against small predators with a ferocity that protects the more vulnerable members of the team. But their greatest contribution is their sanitation diet. The Muscovy is a predator specialized in disease vectors. Their ability to catch flies mid-air and clear ponds of mosquito larvae is what keeps your family and your larger livestock safe from outbreaks. Moreover, the Muscovy is your genetic bank of reserve thanks to its incredible capacity for natural incubation. In a self-sustaining system, we don't want to rely on the power grid for new animals to be born. We want nature to do the work. The Muscovy female is the perfect surrogate mother, capable of hatching her own eggs and those of the other breeds, ensuring the generational turnover of your team with zero operational costs. Their meat, lean and intensely flavored, is the final byproduct of an animal that spent its life cleaning your environment, proving that in an intelligent homestead, cleanliness is not only necessary but delicious and highly profitable. Their silence is also a tactical advantage. Unlike other ducks, the Muscovy hisses instead of quacking. allowing for a stealthier operation that doesn't attract unwanted attention from neighbors or distant predators. This stealth, combined with their defensive capabilities, makes them the ideal candidate for a decentralized homestead where security and low visibility are paramount. They are the silent workers that clean while you sleep, ensuring that when you wake up, your environment is safer, cleaner, and ready for another day of high-performance growth. Finally, to close this circle of abundance, we have the Pekin Duck, our officer of biomass and social stability. The pekin serves a function that is often overlooked. They are the thermal and emotional stabilizers of the flock. Their large size and docile temperament provide a sense of security to more nervous breeds, making it easier to manage the group when it's time to lock them up or move them to a new pasture. But their true strategic value is in energy storage. The pekin converts feed into fat and white meat in record time, functioning as a biological battery that you can harvest in times of need. This fat is a vital resource on an autonomous homestead. It is used for preserving meats, making high-quality soaps, or as a dense energy source for traditional cooking. By having the pekin on your team, you guarantee that there is always a reserve of biomass available, allowing you to manage the growth of other breeds with more patience. The combination of their insulating down and abundant meat ensures that every flank of survival, from warmth to food, is covered by a single animal that grows with an efficiency that defies any other domestic bird. They are the heavy lifters of the ecosystem, turning simple grains and grasses into a wealth of physical resources that keep the homestead resilient against external economic shocks. By integrating these four personalities and functions into your land, you are creating a living machine that self-repairs and self-manages. Understanding that the runner protects, the khaki provides, the Muscovy multiplies, and the pekin consolidates gives you the ultimate competitive edge to stop being a simple breeder and become an architect of abundance. Each of these birds is a piece of a puzzle that, once assembled, breaks the chains of the traditional industrial food system. You are no longer a passive consumer. You are the director of a biological orchestra where every quack is a note in the melody of your own independence. The secret to mastering this system isn't working harder, but observing more closely how these breeds have been designed by nature to serve your purposes for free, efficiently, and constantly. You are leveraging millions of years of evolution to perform the manual labor that used to break your back and drain your bank account. This is the transition from hard work to smart systems, where your role is to observe, adjust, and harvest the surplus of a nature that wants to be productive. Every morning you walk out onto your land, you won't see chores. You'll see a team of specialists executing a perfectly tuned plan for your success. You are no longer fighting against the land. You are working with it, using the natural drives of your animals to create a cycle of prosperity that grows stronger with every passing season. What you have just seen is not just a list of poultry. It is the blueprint for your future independence. The true power of a self-sustaining homestead doesn't lie in how many acres you own, but in the intelligence with which you manage the biology inhabiting it. By integrating this dream team of ducks, you are making a conscious choice to step off the hamster wheel of mass consumption. You are stopping your reliance on synthetic fertilizers, industrial pesticides, and fragile supply chains that are becoming more expensive every day. Every one of these four winged employees has one mission: to give you back control of your time and your nutrition. But remember, knowledge without action is just entertainment. If you truly want to see a change in your profitability and the health of your land, you must start today. You don't need 1,000 ducks. You need to start with the right team, observe their instincts, and adjust your strategy to the language of your own soil. The homestead of your dreams, the one that runs like a well-oiled machine while you enjoy the fruits of your ingenuity, is only one decision away. If this tactical approach has opened your eyes and you want to continue transforming your homesteading into a high-efficiency business or lifestyle, subscribe and hit the bell, because we will continue breaking down the best tactics of the modern rural world. Now, I want to hear from you. Of these four specialists, which one does your land need most right now? Are you battling pests, or are you looking to maximize your egg yield? Leave your answer in the comments. I'll be reading them to plan our next tactical move. Thank you for being here and for being part of this community of intelligent breeders. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.